Today's message is going to be about anger and how to control your anger. We live in a world today that is so fast moving that you may even say to yourself, it just makes me angry. When you have all these distractions around you, such as the internet, television, radio, social media, cell phones beeping, and high traffic, and people at work driving you bananas, these things are going to make you upset. So this video is meant to help you to be less angry, and hopefully it ministers to your heart. So the first thing you want to do when you start feeling angry is to realize that you have to do something about it. Take action. So we once lived in a period of time before the internet where all these distractions weren't as bad as they are now. And people lived just fine. They were able to cope without these gadgets, and they had productive lives. The one thing you have to keep in mind is, if you know that there are high points throughout your day when your anger seems to arise, target that area first. Journal out what's bothering you at that moment. Once you begin to recognize the problem, you can do something about it. Now, let's just say you have a busy morning. Maybe you have kids, maybe you have a job you have to leave to early, maybe you work 12 hours a day. But on certain periods of time, you have to say to yourself that I'm going to put away these things that trouble me so deeply. When you first wake up in the morning, do you really need to have your cell phone on? Do you need to hear beeping? And, does the television have to be running? First, find the peace inside your inner self. And like I said, there was a time where people lived without these things. So you don't really need them. You may think you do, but once you start eliminating them, you'll begin to say to yourself that I feel a lot more peaceful, calmer, and less angry. When you have too many things going on at once, the brain can't process all the information at once. And that's what's causing the anger, because you're trying to do X, Y, and Z all at the same time. You're trying to hear your cell phone, check your email, listen to your kids or your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you're doing day to day. You're also trying to find out what's going on in the world, maybe the news, headlines. You're thinking about your job, you're thinking about that. So the one thing you have to do is eliminate most of those distractions. Okay, for one, you don't need to listen to the news or any television program in any way, shape, or form when you first get up in the morning. Try and eliminate that. You don't need to have your cell phone turned off. Have certain hours that you have it on. Thank goodness that we have, messaging today. You can check your message. If it's that important that somebody has to get a hold of you, tell them to leave a message. And basically, you'll get back to them. And you'll find out that when you start to do these things, your life becomes a lot more peaceful. Also, start leaving early for things, no matter what the function is, because that's usually what makes people angry during the day, is that they're trying to get somewhere and someone or something's always in the way. Maybe a car's in the way, you're trying to drive to a location and someone's in front of you, they're driving slow, or maybe there's just traffic, and this just makes you angry. Plus your phone's going off at the same time, someone's trying to call you, you're listening to maybe the radio. All these distractions will make you angry. So basically you have to first eliminate those types of things. Now next, you have to learn to really journal out your feelings, or talk out your feelings to someone that you trust on a day-to-day basis. If you don't have that one-on-one time with somebody, you're going to find that it's really difficult for you to not get angry, because we all need an outlet. We all need a venting place. Now, a lot of times people call me in my ministry to vent to me about their life situations. And that's totally great. So you have to find your place of venting. And I find that journaling works great, because you can really communicate your feelings out on paper. And then you see what your troubled areas are. Most people get really angry because they're not focusing enough on their problem for a solution. You just pretty much take everything day by day, saying, we have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So the one thing you want to do is try and attack that as best as you can. Just say, I am going to make everything work for me to the good of my life. And you also learn to just put your trust in the Lord. I mean, when you put your trust in the Lord, everything begins to take shape and balance. It's easier to say than do. A lot of people say, oh, just trust in God, but they don't do it. Because when you trust God, you don't get as angry because of the fact that you know God will take care of the problem. So you have a strong faith. If you lack faith, you'll tend to be more angry because you say, well, God doesn't care. Nobody cares. It's all on me. And then you get angry. So that's why you have to really see what the problem is and how to correct it. The good thing about everything in life is that there's a solution to every problem. So I really praise God for giving us these types of solutions because we can do something about it. Now, I hope that you enjoy my videotape message today because I think that you can tackle your anger. And sometimes you need a prophetic word to also see what your troubled area is. Some people really just don't know. It's become that problematic that you just can't figure out what is going on in your life to make that happen. And I hope that this message has helped you and that you'll find my other messages to be just as helpful. So please tell your friends about me. And I hope inside my heart that you listen to my other videos because they are quite powerful. I mean, I do receive a lot of spiritual messages throughout the day. I enjoy doing prophecy. That's my calling as a prophetic minister. And if you need help, please stop by my website. And you have a blessed day. Thanks for listening.